Okay, you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yeah, okay, I was really excited to do this video. I've been kind of waiting for it because I haven't kind of got myself ready to do it. So this is my back to school video, and it's HBCU edition. I'm going to be sharing with you my experience of going to HBCU, of course, the Morgan State University. Look at it, I know, I love this sweater. So I'm going to be telling you some of my experiences and telling you what you should be looking forward to preparing to go to college. This is for anybody, if you're in college or if you didn't go to a HBCU, or if you're just starting out in high school, or you're a junior, you're a senior, you're a freshman, sophomore, anything. Keep watching this video and do not forget to subscribe. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, so I got my notes. Oh my god, can you see my horrible handwriting right here? Probably can't. But the first thing I have to say really is where I came from. So I went to school, of course, to Morgan State University. This is where I met, you know what I'm saying? So I went there. I came from like a really small county called Harford County. Like, it's so tiny. I don't know if you guys heard of it. So that's where I'm really from. I went to high school here. It's a nice area. It's just really quiet. So I wanted to go to an area that was different and kind of get away from this county. It was nothing wrong with it. It just was kind of like dull. So I decided to enroll into Morgan State University. It was an HBCU. I had went to a predominantly white high school, and that's what brought me to Morgan State University, because I didn't want to go too far from home, but I wanted to get away in a way where I was have enough experience, but if I didn't like it, I could come back home. So going to Morgan State University was like one of my picks, and it's crazy because everybody was like, don't go there, and oh my god, you want to go there, you want to go to Baltimore? And I was just like, yeah, like of course, it's something different. Like I wasn't going to stay in this box. So never be afraid to go to a different school, or don't listen to what people say. I went to Morgan State University. I had a really great time while I was there. So that's where I started from. Okay, so we're gonna get into the ham, turkey, the meat, the sandwich, into everything. Clearly I'm hungry. That was just random. I went to Morgan State. The particular major that I studied was physical education. It was a concentrated major, and I was concentrated in physical therapy. So of course, I'm still trying to go back to school. I know I want to work in the health field. Physical education major was perfect. However, I did not start at that major. I was a bio major first. And being a bio major, it was pretty hectic. Like, I have to say, I handled it right the first 2 semesters, my first 2 years. But after I took that genetics class, it was a dub for me, son. It was a dub for me. I could not do it. Genetics was like draining. It was kind of like, okay, I got through basic biology, but now they were getting into like the hard stuff. I had like microbiology. I was like, okay, this is just boring. Like, I'm not even interested. So I was really unhappy. And then because some of the classes that I took made with my major of physical education, I was like, well, you know what, I might as well just go ahead and change my major and take my life easier. Being a bio major, nothing's wrong with being a bio major. Just me personally, it just became too much. I wasn't happy, and you don't want to be in a major that makes you unhappy. You want to be comfortable. You want to be able to know that you're going to be able to pass, and you understand the lectures and things like that. You don't want to be in a school or in classes just knowing that you're going to fail and knowing that you're not interested. So I changed my major to physical education, and I loved it. I was in class with my friends. I was able to like know everything because I'd already studied bio for like 2 years. So everything was like easy peasy throughout the rest of my major. So after I got that done, it was like, man, this is easy. I went ahead, I graduated, got my degree, and now I'm, of course, in the post-graduation fog of just trying to find myself a job. But we all go through it. If you're trying to get that, make sure you're looking into your major now. Make sure you guys know all that. But that's just my experience. I met great friends, made great networking. I mean, it was a good experience as far as me coming from like a small area town. So if you're looking for schools that may be in a city or an area that's pretty popular, you know, look into it, because sometimes we need to get out of our comfort zone, and that's the only way you amount to growth. So that's my pretty experience in a nutshell. But you know, yada yada yada. We'll just keep moving. So the first thing you need to know with going to college, if you're in high school right now, make sure you're looking at colleges around you. In-state tuition is better than out-state tuition. Looking at how much it costs, looking at how much resources. Make sure you're going on tours. Keep going to different colleges. Making sure you're looking at majors. Make sure you know what you want to do. My biggest thing is know yourself. Know what you want to do. If you're not a social person, then you like to be in your books, choose a major that is all in your books and you don't have to be social. If you're a person who is social, might want to choose a major that allows you to be social, like maybe business, networking, international business. There's a lot of majors out there that have to go with your personality. If you aren't, you got to remember that. Even though this is going to pay off in a couple of years, you kind of got to know, okay, am I going to be happy with this major? Or am I not going to be too happy? Am I still staying true to myself? We get into the books, we get into college and getting smart, but it's really about knowing yourself throughout those 4 or 5 years that you stay in school and you get your bachelor's degree or master's. Knowing yourself. Each semester, each year, I learned a lot about myself and what was best for me, which is why I changed my major. So the first thing is know yourself and have goals. Set goals for yourself. If you know you didn't do good the first semester or last year from high school, you want to create a better, you want to start better off, a better atmosphere for yourself. It's good to have goals. Start off with goals every semester. Like, hey, last year I had a 3.2, I want a 3.4, or I want a 3.9. Keep pushing yourself. Do not lay back. Okay, that last semester was easy, I'll be okay, let me just finesse, let me do this. Like, you want to make sure that you're making goals for yourself to do better. So that is a very, very important thing, I would have to say, like going into college as a freshman or sophomore. Making goals and staying true to yourself. Okay. My next thing would be getting involved into campus. You don't want to be somebody who's just like in the library all the time, like never talks to people. Like, you have to still be social. You still have to have people that are going to look out for you during classes. So make sure you are being involved in your campus and your community. They have all types of organizations. Going to HBCU, I mean, it's kind of hard not to join an organization because you're going to have something that fits you, whether it's like a sisters organization, whether it's Greek, whether it's just people who just want to talk about Black history. Maybe they have a Caribbean type club. There's so much stuff that you can get at HBCU that is a melting pot of things that can define you and who you are to better yourself. So make sure you're involved. If you're I look really almondy, like I look mad pecan, like, okay. The biggest thing I would say next is friendships or relationships. This is about to get real. That's just like everybody's not just sis. Like, everybody is not your friend. Everybody is not your cool person you can bang with. Like, nah, peace. Like, everybody is not for you. Like, you will know who's who for you. Like, I think for myself, when I was in school, I actually had like the best people around me. Like, they were so funny. Like, I had the best people around me, best people to support me. Like, I had a pretty good base, solid circle when I first got to school. I went through a program called CASA, which is a Center of Academic Something Academy, which is like a prep school before college. So we were there for, I think, like a month and a half before school starts. And we were supposed to take classes. So we put you in a cohort. So within my cohort, I was basically close to everybody because now I pretty much know some people that are starting with me for class. So it was actually very better to start that way versus like kind of getting to know people first day of school. Like, I had already had friends by the time my semester started. So joining CASA was definitely a lifesaver because I still talk to those people today. So and they had a lot of activities for us. We took classes and we had activities. We had talent shows. We had things to know about more the university. We actually had to take tests on knowing the history of Morgan State University. So we learned a lot about basically history, Black history, anything. I think for myself, I had a pretty solid circle. So you need to make sure your circle is pretty solid, meaning that they are pushing you, they're supporting you, they're going to be honest with you. College is a big place where you could easily make mistakes to where you feel like, I could have done this better, I could have done that. So make sure the people around you want better for you. Okay, so with that being said, with having like boyfriends and stuff, or even people, like, make sure you're not indulging in drugs or things that you don't want to. I mean, you know what I'm saying, because you can't smoke for everybody. You can't smoke for everybody, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, so just make sure like you're not drinking, and you know, make sure you're not like, you're actually dealing with reality. Like if you're going through a lot of stuff, like make sure you find yourself in a place where you can like have a you time. Like if you meditate, or if you like listen to your music, or whatever you may do that instead of finding different voids. It's so easy to sit here and talk about books and going to school, but we all go through stuff personally, whether it's deaths in the family or things like that, and you got to find a way so you can get through that, so you're not like, I don't know, like indulging in people or trying to find other people to fill that void because you've been through a lot. I know for myself, when I was in school, I was having a lot of issues with anxiety. I mean, I still have anxiety now, just general anxiety, nothing crazy. But it gets stressful to the point where you're kind of exhausted, and it's like you have not done anything all day, but your mind is just mentally exhausted. And I had to like teach myself, okay, Brashay, let's drink some tea, let's watch a movie, and let's get back to your work later. Like I had to teach myself to like relax a little bit because I became so tense. My body was tense. Like I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to leave my bed. Like I was kind of like isolating myself. So I can definitely tell you from experience, just from me working so much and being burnt out, it definitely affected my personal self, my personal life, and how I felt. So make sure you're not indulging in different things like partying and doing drugs. Relationships, not even just for friends, but like boyfriends and people that you done been with. You know, I done been with her for a minute. Like we done came to Morgan together. Like do not be surprised if somebody that you really bang with freshman year done switched up on you by senior year, or somebody you was cool with, like, you know, y'all been cool, you would never think, because you just never know. People change up, people make mistakes, and you gotta move on. When it comes to men and dating guys and like relationships, just make sure the guy that you are with, or girl that you are with, or whoever, whatever, how you do it, make sure that person's supporting you, make sure that person is there through everything. Like you don't want somebody to just come when they need something or feel like they could just use you for your answers or anything. Make sure you're protecting your energy and staying true to yourself. Okay, so any HBCU or PWI or any institution you go on, international, whatever, make sure you make it your own. Get something you can get out of it before you leave or before you graduate. Like start a business. I know a lot of people who were in business as a business major or in fashion design and start their own clothing line or start their own business. Make sure you're pushing yourself to do that. Again, like I said, HBCU is a melting pot of support. There's a million people that are going to support you, even though your friend or whoever you want to say didn't support you. There's another girl group out there or another male group out there that's going to support you. There's so many people. So if you have a t-shirt company, if you have a photography company, I started photography kind of late, but it's okay. But if you have anything that you want to do, where it's selling hair or selling lashes, glasses, sunglasses, make that your hustle. You'll have a lot of clients on the HBCU because everybody ain't about to be buying stuff they can get it for low though. You know what I'm saying? But just make sure you are making it your own. Like just because this university has something that this university doesn't or yours doesn't mean anything. It's what you make it. And I feel like sometimes people get in their feelings about the stuff and resources that they do not have. You have to work with what you got to get what you want. You cannot sit here and just be like, well, if I had this, I would have been able to do this. It's not the same. You make the best out of it and you make it your own. So that's the best thing that I can say as far as like going to HBCU, because I know a lot of HBCUs are not funded as better as a PWI. We all know that. We all know HBCUs are not the first people that they want to give money to. So it's important to understand that we have to make it the best that we can. I love going to HBCU. I'm proud to be from an HBCU, and just make it your own. Like make it for yourself. Make this a lesson for yourself and really get to know people and make it your own. That's really all to say. I know I've said like 10 million times, but the last thing I have to say is do not burn yourself out. Like I think from my experience, I think I was taking on every opportunity because I thought that was a good thing to do, but I did find myself like really, really burnt out. So make sure if you are trying to work and go to school, it's in hours that you'll still have time to study and get your studies in. Make sure that if you are in an organization, make sure you have time for yourself. I don't think I did that my first couple years going to school, probably because I was kind of also hammered with a lot of courses as a freshman or sophomore. but it's also important to make sure you're not overcrowding. If you cannot take on more than 5 classes or more than 2 classes, like, don't feel like you need to be in a rush. To make sure you're making the classes like in a good steady rate to where you'll graduate on time, but not overwhelming yourself. Okay, so this pretty much concludes my video. I wanted to put this out in the right time. It took me a minute to get the video out because I was like, oh, I don't want to say this, I want to make sure it's this, like, but I think you guys will put your own experience, but from my information that I'm giving you, I enjoyed my experience going at Morgan State University. I had a really great time, but I just feel like, from what I can tell you, hopefully you guys can take this information and put it to yourself and know what you need to do to be prepared and to be and to graduate from an HBCU or really any college. I feel like just because I went to HBCU doesn't mean that my advice is only for people in HBCU, but more or less for people who are going to college and are kind of like not knowing what to expect. Just make sure you stay true to yourself and don't burn yourself out. Work hard, get your degree, do not give up, and I'm pretty sure you'll be fine. So see you guys later. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and like, and of course comment on the video. I would like to know you guys' feedback if you want to have more videos of me talking like this, or you like my tutorials or voiceovers. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about it. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. The heck? There you go. Every time I say it, it does not work. Like, it's like, alright. Okay, so I really don't understand why one side of my head is more thicker than the other, or whatever, but it's just driving me freaking nuts. It drives me insane. I'm trying. I don't understand why this side has to be so extra and this side is like chilling. Like, I just don't understand. Okay, so my final, oh my god, this hair.